In this video, I'm going to talk about planking for scoliosis. So in case we haven't met, I'm Viv. I'm an integrative health practitioner, and I created SCOLIOFITNESS, a program designed to empower you to rebuild strength and confidence in your bodies through exercise, nutrition, and mindset. So I was diagnosed with scoliosis when I was 10 years old, and probably similar to you, I was always told to keep my core strong. But what does that actually mean? What's our core and what are we supposed to do about it, right? So you might think, so when you think core, the first thing that might come to your mind might be the six-pack abs that we see on magazine covers, on Instagram, etc. But the core is so much more than that. It's your back muscles, it's your abdominal muscles, it all the way goes down to your pelvis as well. So there's your transverse abdominis, and those are like corset muscles that kind of wrap around your spine. There's your internal and external obliques, your rectus abdominis, which is more of that surface six-pack abs muscles. There's also the erector spinae and multifidus, which are going to support your spine and your spinal column. And also your diaphragm, so that's your breathing muscle that expands and contracts with every breath that you take. And then also all the muscles in your pelvic girdle. So there's a lot going on, a lot of muscles that we want to activate. And one of the best ways to do that is through doing the plank. And so I wanted to show you today how I get into a plank position, because sometimes people dump into their low back too much and it hurts their back, and they're not really feeling it in the right areas, okay? So I want to show you that. But why, besides the fact that when you have scoliosis, you want to keep your core strong, right, to kind of help support your spine, but why is that so important? And it's important for all of us, not just those of us with scoliosis. Everyone should keep their core strong because it's going to help us with our balance. It's going to help to ease back pain. It's going to help with our posture, and then hopefully also prevent any injury. Okay, so let's get into plank position, and I want you to comment below as you go along, or when you're done with this actually, and tell me how it's feeling for you, where you're feeling this, if you're feeling the engagement in your entire core. Okay? All right, so a lot of times when you get into a plank position, say you're in a workout class or your doctor tells you to do it, sometimes people just get onto their forearms and their toes right away. And if you do that, sometimes you just dump into your low back, right? So see how it like curves in my low back, my belly's kind of pushed forward a bit. And that's not gonna be very good because you are crunching the low back and it could lead to pain. So what I like to do is I start in Sphinx pose. So I start just on my belly on the floor. And to do this in your forearms, I have my elbows underneath my shoulders and my forearms on the mat. They're parallel to each other, about shoulder width apart, okay? So from here, to start in Sphinx pose, I just want you to lengthen through the crown of your head. So you're kind of seeing from my tailbone through the crown of my head, everything's kind of lifted. I'm gonna feel a slight extension, and then feel this lengthen in my spine. From here, what I want you to do to get into the plank is to protract your shoulders. So you see what I did there? A retraction is when your shoulder blades come closer together, but a protraction, your shoulder blades spread away from each other. So you see that? So I already feel this engage my upper back. Now from here, I'm gonna pull my ribs in, up towards my body, and pull it in, and then down towards my pelvis, okay? So as I do that, I'm already kind of lifting up my torso a bit. So you're gonna lift, pull your abs in, pull your belly button towards your spine, lift your hips, grip your glutes really tight, and everything is super tight and stable right here. So really feeling the engagement in my core. So I'm feeling it everywhere. I might start shaking, and I'm keeping my gaze between my hands. You wanna keep your neck long. You don't wanna crunch into your neck, and you don't want to bring your neck down, any of that tech neck. And then you can slowly come back down, and you reset, stretch out your abs a little bit, and then do that again. Protract your shoulders, pull your ribs in, and then down, and then lift up, tuck under a little bit, squeeze your glutes really tight, Keep everything nice and tight. And then once you get the hang of this, and can hold this position, then you can come onto your toes also and then lift up higher, okay? But you don't have to go onto your toes. It should be just as effective when you're doing this on your knees. When you're doing any variation of the plank or of another exercise, it doesn't mean that it's easier, and it doesn't mean that it's the beginner one either. It just means that you are in the position that you can feel it the most in your body to get the most effective workout, stretch, or strengthening, right? So don't worry about getting on your toes. Try this on your knees. Let me know how it's feeling for you. Are you shaking? Are you feeling this your entire core? Grip your glutes, tuck under a little bit. How does it feel for you? Do you feel stronger, or notice the difference if it's getting into your low back or not as well, okay? And also another variation for plank is that some people come onto their arms with a straight arm plank. And you could do a straight arm plank with on your knees again. So if you do that, it's still kind of the same thing. So you're not dumping into that back, right? So you're pulling everything up. And then when you're ready, you can also go onto your toes, but it's really just as effective for me to be doing this on my knees. So when you're doing it on your forearms, you're gonna feel it a bit more concentrated into your abdominal area. Whereas if you do the plank with straight arms, it's more of a total body conditioning for the plank. And also I notice that sometimes when I do my plank on my forearms, it's actually harder for me because with gravity, and you're just closer to the ground that way, okay? So try this out, let me know how it feels for you. If it's hard for you to get onto the floor, you can always do this with your forearms on, say, the side of the bed or the couch. If it's too much on your forearms, you can also put a towel or something underneath if it hurts your elbows. And you can also do this at the wall. And if you're doing it at the wall, I still want you to make sure your elbows are in line with your shoulders, or maybe even just a little bit lower, okay? So try that out. Let me know how it feels for you. If you want to learn more core exercises for your scoliosis that are safe for your back, send me a DM, stay tuned, I'll be filming more videos. If you want any other information, just send me a DM. I'd love getting to know all of you. And I also have a free stretching guide to elongate and decompress your spine. If you don't already have it, click on the link in my bio or DM me and I'll send you the link. Have a good day. Happy planking. Comment below. I want to hear how it's going for you.